Morning, YouTube. I'm out in the shop this morning and I'm making the punches, I guess you'd call them, for that press I rebuilt. I'm working on a Delrin. I don't know why I have so much trouble saying Delrin. I'm going to make a 1/4 inch and a 3/8 inch punch for it. First, I start with making a pilot hole here for my live center on the tailstock. Let's go in a little ways here. Okay, there's the little hole in the end that my tailstock will hold the end of it from wobbling, because this Delrin is really flimsy. Let me get set up for the next cut. I don't know if you can see this, but they call this a live center because this will spin with the material. Dead centers won't spin, and then you have to oil them real good so that they don't burn up the end of your material. Dead centers are probably more accurate, but for most of the work I do, a live center is plenty accurate. And now, as you can see, I've already made some brass ones. I'll show those to you in a little bit. Switch hands, slide this in, so that goes right in that hole. And then this, and then you crank this in a little bit to tighten that up. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to see it spin, but there it goes. Over. I have it all set up so that when I have that dial on 0, this one on 0. Getting a lot of reflection off my light. When I crank this real slow, it's going to turn that 1/2 inch Delrin down to 3/8. I hope I'm holding that on the camera, because I'm watching what I'm doing and not what the camera's doing. Okay, here's what I do. I measure it, and that's 321. 322. Then I come over here to my calculator. 0.322 minus 0.25 equals, that's how much material I got to take off. But you got to remember, you're taking off all the way around, so you're taking off, if I went in 72 thousandths, I'd be way too small. So you divide by 2, I got to take off 36 thousandths to get down to a 1/4 inch. I think I'm going to run over it one more time. What I'm going to do then, I'll go over it one more time, then I got to cut this off a little bit just to get that hole out of there. Then I'll cut this off, and this end's the one that'll go up in the ram of my press. Then I'm just going to turn another long 3/8 inch piece, and one end will go up into the press and the other end will be a 3/8 inch punch. Okay, there she sets. I did put a little set screw in there so it's a little snugger, but it still slides. and I oiled it up a little bit so it's nice and smooth operating. I'm going to make a plate to set there. Right here's the one I was making on camera. So I got a quarter, 3/8, half, quarter, 3/8, half, and there's a straight 3/8 inch steel one. I think that'll be good for what I'm going to be doing. And before I move on to my next project, let me show you something over here. One of my rules when I'm working in the shop is when you're done with a project, clean it up. That way you don't have come to a new come on a new project and then all of a sudden you got a big mess. Let's go over and take a look at the lathe. Turn the light on and all that mess is cleaned up. I don't know if you can see back there, but I just try to, it's kind of a forced habit because it just doesn't come natural to me, but I try to get it cleaned up. Okay, I'll go over and show you what my next project is. Well, this will be my next project. I'll start another video on this. I was over at Menards the other day, saw these. I don't know how good they are, but I'm going to give them a shot. I got so many little screws and little tools and gunsmithing stuff down there in my room. I thought I'd make just a shelving unit for these that they'd slide in. I'm going to put little knobs here on the end. Made in USA, that's a rarity. I'll probably drill a little hole here and put a small nut and a bolt through there and put a nut on each side so I got a little handle to pull them out of the drawer. I don't know if you've ever seen these, but these are the backs of speakers, and I got another pile down there. I got a bunch of those, and the neat thing about those is they're an 1/8 inch thick, so they will fit right into the saw kerf from my table saw and make nice little shelves. I don't know if you remember my reloading video, but I've got those little red plastic containers with all the parts and stuff in them. That's what I made that shelf out of, was these, and some 2x4s on the ends. And here's some coyote stretchers, the wire ones. Stuff for my four-wheeler. Let me get started on this and I'll show you what I'm doing.